Hi there, travel lovers. Is your trusted cruise and Tauck tour and safari expert Shawn Power here. I wanted to talk to you today about Viking Ocean Cruises, and I wanted to go over a warning that I give to all my clients before they book them for the first time. Now, as you can probably see over my shoulder, I'm on an ocean cruise myself today. I'm actually up in the Arctic on a Silver Sea expedition cruise. So I'm not on a Viking cruise right now. Like I said, I'm on Silver Sea, and just to talk about where they fit into the category of cruising. Silver Sea is part of the small ship luxury all inclusive lines. So you're talking Silver Sea, Regent, Seabourn, Explorer, and Crystal. Now Viking Ocean Cruises, who's the topic of today, they fit into the upper premium line, and you've got Viking and Oceania Cruises. Underneath this video, I will put in a link to the category of cruises video that I did a while back, so you can kind of see where I think all these companies fit in. But Viking, like I said, they're part of the upper premium lines, and that means they're going to be a step up from going on a big ship. So way better quality cruise than going on Carnival or Royal Caribbean or Princess or Celebrity or any of those guys. Because Viking right away, they are a lot smaller. They've only got about 900 guests on board, so you don't have thousands and thousands of people. They actually don't even allow kids on board Viking. So if you want a nice, quiet, adult-only vacation, they're going to be perfect for that. They're very destination focused. So like I said, there's a lot of pluses about Viking. And a lot of, one thing my clients really like about Viking is they're very all-inclusive. Sorry, I shouldn't say all-inclusive. They're very inclusive. So they include way more than the average big ship line. So for example, Wi-Fi is included in your price. When it comes to drinks, they do include wine, beer, soft drinks in your, with your lunch and dinner every day. Your specialty dining meals are going to be included. So you're not going to be nickel and dime to death. On board, the main thing, pretty much the only extra thing you're gonna have to pay for is going to be gratuities for the staff. Now, don't get me wrong, like any cruise, big ship cruise, out there who's not inclusive, that is going to be pricey, like $20 a person a day, so $40 a couple. So if you're on board for 10 days, $400, or 20 days, $800 or whatnot. Now, with that said, I mean, when I book my clients, I give them hundreds of dollars of onboard credit to try to cover that. I'm sure your travel agent does the same thing. If you book with Viking directly, you're not going to get that. But as long as you book within the last 60 days, you can move your booking to myself or another agent and get the gratuities. So like I said, the point is on board, it's going to be very inclusive. There's almost going to be no extra expenses. But what I wanted to talk to you about today, and this is the warning I give my clients who are looking at Viking for the first time, is what happens off the ship. Because if you look at all the Vikings marketing, what they say is that they include shore excursions in the price of their trip. But what they say is they include one shore excursion per port. Now, a lot of people probably think of, oh, that means that when I go to each port, I probably got a choice. Maybe there's 6 or 10 excursions and I can pick what I want to do. That's how it works with Regent, and that's how it works with Silver Sea. But that's not how it works at all with Viking. So with Viking, there's literally one excursion per port that's included. So there's no choice. There's just an excursion that's included. And I got to be honest with you, it's a really basic one. I mean, we're talking, let me give you a couple examples. Actually, here's some real examples. So actually, right now I can see on my hat, I've got the White Pass Rail train ride in Skagway. Now, I've been on 11 Alaska cruises. I've literally booked hundreds of my clients on Alaska cruises over the years. And one of the top, actually the most popular excursion in all of Alaska is the White Pass Rail train ride in Skagway. When you go to Skagway, I think you absolutely have to do it. Well, Vikings included tour up there is basically, it's a drive. So you get in the motor coach where they put 50 people on board. They drive up the mountain to the White Pass area, but it's not at all going to be the same as taking a train ride. So they don't put you on that train ride because that's a big expense for them to, pay hundreds of dollars to the train company per person. Here's another example, Hawaii. I had some clients in Hawaii last year, and I was in Hawaii myself on a cruise, and we were in Hilo. Now, when you go to Hilo, everybody, and this is on the Big Island, everybody wants to go to Volcano National Park. It's the real highlight to do. I mean, you basically get to walk on an active volcano. It's an incredible experience. Viking does like a little tour of Hilo, which is like the town where the ship is, and there's nothing there. So again, you've got to pay extra money to do the tour in the Volcano National Park. Same thing again, if we back up to Skagway, if you want to do that White Pass Rail, you're going to have to pay extra money. Rome is another great example. You fly thousands of miles over to Europe, you want to go to Rome. Viking takes you on a drive around Rome and you see some of the monuments from a bus. Again, they're just trying to keep their costs down. So they put 50 people on a bus. That's much cheaper than paying for people to go into the Vatican, which is where you want to go into the Sistine Chapel, to go to the Roman Colosseum, to go to the Roman Forum. I mean, there's so much to see and do in Rome. It's one of the most fabulous places. So imagine flying all that way, just sit on a bus and just look at some, some monuments from your seat in a bus. So again, Vikings are a great company in a lot of ways when it comes to their ocean cruises. No kids, small ships, very inclusive. But again, be very careful with these excursions, because you might like the price of that Viking ocean cruise and think that that's your bottom line price, but realistically, you're going to pay thousands of dollars more for excursions. So again, maybe that means they're not going to be for you. For a lot of my clients, they still go with Viking anyway, because overall they got great destinations, they got great itineraries, and their prices are going to be lower typically than going on Regent or Silver Sea, who does include all the excursions. So just something to think about when you're considering if Viking's going to be a fit for you or not. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of value when you're deciding if they are going to be the right cruise line. And just one more thing I want to comment on before I end this video. So I'm talking specifically about Viking Ocean Cruises when I say they're a really good product. Same with Viking Expedition Cruises. So like I said, right now I'm up in the Arctic with Silver Sea, and Viking also has an expedition cruise division. So they do Arctic cruises. Viking also does Antarctica cruises. They also have their ships in the Great Lakes during the summertime, and that's another great product. But Viking River Cruises is not the same. Viking River Cruises was started like 30 years ago, and they were always about quality over quantity. So they basically jam the most people on their ships. They're going to be almost like the Carnival of river cruising, because like I said, they're quantity over quality. So there's much higher options out there, Tauck being the top rated, Ama Waterways being next. So, I know that might be a bit confusing, but like I said, Viking River Cruises, not really a quality product, but Viking Ocean Cruises is, as well as the expeditions. But again, be very careful when you're deciding if this is for you or not, because you want to make sure that the one included excursion that they're offering is for you. If not, you may want to look at some other options. All right, again, hopefully I brought you some value today. Any questions, leave me a comment or contact me on my site, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.